Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Drupakata Mahyam Tadam Swapatantikam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nidhrami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshtu Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So we'll have a chapter 14 today. Once chapter 14 is over, I'll post the first open book assessment for module 2. I mean 3, sorry. Module 3. Okay. Yeah, so after 14 chapter, first open book for module 3. Then after 16 chapters, second open book of module 3. And after 18 chapters, closed book for module 3. And then we are done. We'll go to Nectar of Devotion after that. Okay. So 14th chapter is about the 3 modes of material nature. And 1 to 13 sloka is about conditioning of the soul by material modes. And 14 to 18 is about effect of conditioning by the modes. Okay, so how do you connect chapter 13 and 14? Does anyone know? Yes, how do you connect this chapter 13 to 14? Yes, Hare Krishna. So like what did we learn in chapter 13 about? Arjuna is asking some questions, right? So what are they? The 6 questions which Arjuna asked? Yes. Hare Krishna. Everyone forgot.
Mataji, it is Kshetra and Kshetrajna,
Yes.
Prakriti and Purusha, and Jnana and Jneyam.
Yes. Yes. So 2 P's, 2 J's, and 2 K's, right? Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Prakriti, Purusha, Jnana, Jneyam. And that time, so Krishna is was explaining all the questions asked. And in this chapter, the 14th chapter, he is going to give the detailed explanation of Prakriti. Prakriti is nothing but the 3 modes of material nature. So in the chapter 14, we'll see the conditioning of the soul by the material modes, effect of conditioning by the modes, and transcending the modes and everything. Can you hear some background noise, Mataji? Are you able to hear? No.
Yes, Mataji, there is background noise.
Then you sound full adjust mic adjust settings. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Is it better now?
Yes, Mataji.
Better.
Now it's okay?
Okay, Mataji, it's okay.
Yes, Mataji, it's better.
Some settings in my mic. Okay. So a link to the previous section, like in Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter, yes, the 6 questions were asked, right? He was asked about Kshetrajna, Kshetra, Prakriti, Purusha, Jnana, Jnana. So in chapter 13 also, the material nodes of nature was explained a little bit. But today, in this chapter, he's going to explain more. Okay. So Arjuna was inquisitive about the 6 topics, Prakriti, Purusha, Jnana, Jnana, Kshetra, Kshetrajna. And Arjuna asked about Prakriti, nature. And Krishna is therefore explaining in detail about the 3 modes of material nature. Purusha prakritasto hi bhukte prakriti jangunan karanam guna sangasya sadasat yoni janmashu. So why is there a different species of life? Because of the association with 3 modes of material nature. Due to his association, karanam guna sanga asya. That's why we have different species. So Krishna is explaining more about the 3 modes of material nature. And Prabhupada also speaks on the 3 modes of material nature. He says, as I've told you, there are 3 kinds of modes of material nature. One is goodness, one is passion, one is ignorance. So ignorance is the lowest quality. Passion is still better than ignorance, and goodness is the highest good quality within the material world. And one has to transcend even goodness. That is come to, what platform is that called? Krishna conscious platform, or what is the platform above? Yes, Mataji?
Mataji, Vasudeva state?
Vasudeva state, also called as?
Transcendental knowledge state.
Transcendental state or?
Brahman stage.
Pure goodness. Yeah, Brahman stage or Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma stage, or it is a pure goodness, Shuddha Sattvam, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shaktitam. And as Mother said, it's also called Vasudeva platform. Why? Because in this platform, you will be able to understand Vasudeva or Krishna. Okay. So one should not remain on the platform of passion. He should rise on the platform of goodness, and from there he should try to be promoted to Krishna consciousness. This is one method. But if you take the Krishna consciousness directly, then automatically you will transcend the platform of ignorance, passion, and goodness. Why is this statement said that if you take the Krishna consciousness, you will transcend all the three modes? Why is that? Yes.
Mataji, because there is no tie. We are not attached to any material assets, or we're not even attached to the fruits of our good deeds.
Okay.
So Krishna will take charge.
In Krishna consciousness. Yes. So slowly you're transcending the three modes because of that. Okay. So when you constantly associate it with Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna's holy name, or when you constantly associate with its devotees with scriptures and everything, what happens? You become Krishnatized. When you keep an iron rod in a fire for a long time, the iron rod will behave like fire, red hot, na? It will have the same quality. Similarly, when we associate with Krishna, we also get transcended above the three modes. Yes, Ratnangi Mataji?
Purified, Mataji. We get
Yes,
purified.
Yes, we are getting purified. Cheto Darpana Marchanam happens. So what happens? Automatically we will, and then when you start getting up early morning, Brahma Muhurta, taking a bath, attending Mangalarti, the level of ignorance will come down. And when you study Shastra, again the ignorance level is going to come down. And when you take Ekadashi and when you follow the four regulative principles, then what happens? Passion also can get crossed. And then slowly you associate it with Krishna Nam, Krishna's devotees, then goodness. And since you are associating with the pure goodness, Vasudeva, you will also tend to get that level of consciousness, and you start eating prasadam. So what happens? Slowly, we will overcome the qualities of passion and ignorance. So that's what Prabhupada says, that we have to be in Krishna consciousness, in the association of devotees, studying Shastra and all that. Then what happens? Slowly our consciousness gets purified. So Krishna glorifies pure knowledge, and the state results to attain that knowledge. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, the first purport, first Sri Bhagavan Vaja, Param Bhuya Pravakshyami Jnananam Jnanamuttamam Yatnyatva Munaye Sarva Param Siddhim Ito Gadaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, again I shall declare to you the supreme wisdom, best upon knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection. So Krishna is like, I'm going to tell you that knowledge in which you can attain perfection. Idam Jnanam Upashritya Mama Sadharmayam Agada Sarge Api Nopajayante Pralaye Navyatanticha. By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. So Krishna is like, this is how you attain liberation. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, this knowledge, the knowledge which Krishna is explaining in this chapter, is proclaimed by the Supreme Lord to be the superior of knowledge. Why? Because once you know this, there is nothing to be known. And that's the topmost of knowledge, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam. And by understanding this knowledge of the three modes of material nature, various great sages have attained perfection and transferred to the spiritual world. The Lord now explains the same knowledge in a better way. This knowledge is far, far superior to all other process of knowledge thus far explained. And knowing this, many attain perfection. It's expected that one who understands this 14th chapter will attain perfection. Because once you know about the three modes of material nature, you know how to cross it. So Krishna is the father, and Prakriti or material nature is the mother of all the jivas. Because Krishna decides or impregnates the material nature with particular jiva soul. So Krishna is the seed-giving father, Aham Bija Pradapita, but it's the material nature who gives us the body. But she can do it only by Krishna's order. Mama yonir mahat brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato pavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it's that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the birth of living beings, O son of Bharata. So it's Krishna who is the seed-giving father, and it's the material nature who gives us the body. Okay, what is the example of scorpion laying eggs? Who knows? Scorpion laying eggs.
Mataji, the Scorpio lays its egg in the pile of rice, and
Yes.
sometimes it is said that the Scorpio is born out of rice. But the rice is not the cause of the scorpion's birth. Actually, the scorpion has laid its eggs in the rice. So similarly, material nature also is not the cause of the birth of living entities. The seed is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yes. So that means, so that's an important Bhakti Shastri question. So all of you should know the scorpion laying its egg. Okay. Scorpion laying its eggs.
Could someone say, Hare Krishna, could someone say once more scorpion laying eggs?
Yeah, Mataji. So what happens is we keep rice for a long time. When you open it and see, there are small bugs coming out, right? The black ones, or like a small scorpion. So is it that the rice have given birth to the scorpion? No. But if it's a child who's seeing this, the child thinks that, oh, the bugs have come automatically from the rice. No, it doesn't come like that. We know that there was a mother egg who actually laid the egg, and then from that it hatches and the bugs come. So it looks like material nature is so independent and she is giving this material body, but no, she is being impregnated by the Lord. The Lord can just glance at material nature and she can give the material body. So Prabhupada says in the purport of the 14th chapter, 3rd sloka, the last purport, the scorpion lays his eggs in the pile of rice, and sometimes it is said that the scorpion is born out of rice, but the rice is not the cause of the scorpion. Actually, the eggs were laid by the mother. Similarly, the material nature is not the cause for the birth of living entity. The seed is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they only seem to come out of as a products of material nature. So that means she can't decide which body we can get. It's Krishna who decides which body we are going to get, and she'll give us that particular type of body. In the sense, she's the one who actually gives us that body, but it's under Krishna's supervision. So understood? There's another example of the nipples of the goat's head. Does anyone know that? Nipples on the goat's head.
No, Mataji.
No, nobody knows. Okay. So you've seen the goats, they might have like nipples, like small, it looks like nipples on the neck of the goat, but it's actually not nipple in the sense that milk doesn't come from them. It's like a false nipple. So similarly, in the material nature looks independent, but she's not. She cannot produce. And as the nipples of the goat's head cannot produce milk, the material nature cannot produce any living entity on her own. Like another example is a mother cannot produce a child on her own. Yes, nowadays artificial insemination, so many things are there. But still, the seed is required, right? There's a sperm, or it's required from the male. So when there is pregnancy happening, definitely the sperm is deposited and the ovum will get fertilized. But unless and until there's a soul in the sperm, there won't be pregnancy. Most of the pregnancies fail, no? Some of the IVF and all fail. Why? Because there is no soul in it. Unless Krishna decides, and according to karma and all that, the soul has to be deposited in the sperm. So that who is giving that? However, technology advances and modern thing, we cannot create life. There, we have to take the ovum from the mother and the sperm from the father. We can do artificial fertilization outside. And then again, the embryo is formed and we can impregnate. But who is giving that life? Or who is giving that soul? It's the Lord. So the Lord decides. The material nature gives the body, but Krishna actually sanctions it. Or Krishna is the seed-giving father. So Krishna is the father, and Prakriti, or the material nature, is the mother of all the jivas, all of us. So this is a very important example, analogy, a scorpion laying eggs on the rice on a Bhakti Shastri point of view. Okay? Yeah. So the clone, whatever they say, no, the scientists, whatever the research, everything is going on. Soul has to be given by the Lord. The soul has to be like, if there is no soul in it, then there is no pregnancy happening there. So whatever we do in the laboratory, or whatever, how much of a chemicals you give and whatever, life comes from life. Or unless the Krishna deposits the soul, there is no life happening. And soul means what? The growth, everything. So that's why it is said from day one of conception, there is soul in the body of the embryo. Some people say we can abort before 3 weeks, 2 weeks, no problem. 2 months, 3 months, no. How is that embryo growing? How is that the soul is there from day one of conception? Day one. right? So if the soul have done so much sinful activities in previous life, um, that's the soul who's undergoing abortion and all kind of problems within the womb. That soul is so unfortunate. Prabhupada says it's not able to. It has taken shelter of the womb of the mother, but it's not able to come out or not able to do its karma. Might be some kind of sinful activities it's done in previous life. Prabhupada says, but that's not allowed. So Krishna actually impregnates with the seed of the living entity. He decides who should go as whose daughter and son in this material world. We are pushed according to our karma, right? We think that we are not having any shared karma with our parents? Definitely we have. With your spouse and with your children, so we all related. That karma. So based on that, Krishna sends or Krishna impregnates with the seeds of the living entity and Mahatvatva, that is the 24 elements, the material nature, the total substance of material cause in which there are three modes. She, along with that, resulting in innumerable universes, and then different universes are created. And from that, Krishna's superior inferior energies enter into each universe, and there they create the living entities. So all the living entities, 84 million species are thus born. So some are born as animals, some are coming as reptiles, some are like trees and plants and lions and cow, and then human. So this is because of Karanam Guna Sankhya Asya, because of the modes of material nature we associate with, and according to our karma, definitely. And animals doesn't have karma in the sense. Yes, Shriya Mataji.
Mataji, I had a question. Is this Mahat Tattva, is it Karnadukashe Vishnu?
No,
But-
Mahatattva is basically the 24 elements. 24 elements.
Okay.
We'll come to it. There is a 5 gross elements, 5 material, the earth, water, fire, air, ether, then 5 senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touch. Okay, all that, along with the 3 modes of material nature. And even the Paramatma, the super soul also comes. Okay, as a Mahatattva. We'll go in detail about Mahatattva.
Okay, Mataji. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Mataji.
I'll tell you what are the Mahatattva. That's an important question, actually. Okay, so you have to discuss about 3 to 4 text to current social and moral and environmental issues. Okay, relevance of Bhagavad Gita text 14, 3 to 4. You got the question 3 to 4, current social, moral, and economic issues. Discuss the relevance of 13.434 to current social, moral, and environmental issues. 10 minutes discussion. Okay. And then we'll come back and Mataji can post attendance link and continue the discussion. So this is just 3 and 4. Just go through 3 and 4 and then just see whether it has any relevance to current social, moral, and environmental issues. So I'll just open up the breakout room. Might be 2 rooms. We can just go. Hare Krishna. Okay, so all are back. We'll just do 5 to 18 also. Okay, and then take up the breakout room question. So Sloka 5 to 18 is about working of the three modes of material nature. Yeah, Nivedya Mataji, can you post the attendance link so that devotees can? Okay, so here, mode of goodness. Okay. Sattvam rajas tama iti guna prakriti sambhava nipadnati mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. The material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature or mighty Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by the three modes. So how do we get conditioned? When we become associated with the three modes. So in the sense, when we come in contact with nature, that means from birth, when we are born, from that time itself, goodness, passion, and ignorance comes to us. What about goodness? Tatra sattvam nirmalatva prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena bandhati jnana sangena chanata. O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being pure than others, is eliminating and is free from all sinful reaction. Those situated in that mode becomes conditioned by the sense of happiness and knowledge. So that means goodness also, there is a binding force. Happiness, knowledge, satisfaction, and spirit. And what is its characteristics? It eliminates the gates of the body with knowledge and frees one from sinful reaction. So it's good. But still there is bondage. An example like philosopher, scientist, poet. And destination at death is that they go to higher planetary system of great sages. But the problem is what? Again, rebirth. So their actions are pure, they have knowledge, they get elevated to the higher planets. The problem is one become conditioned to feel one and is advanced in knowledge and better than others. So still goodness binds us. What about passion? Rajoragatmakam viddhi trishna sangasamudbhavam tannibadnadi kaundeya karma sangena dehinam. The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti, and because of this, the embodied living being is bound to material fruits action. So passion also attaches us to the fruitive activities, and passion was what? Means intense desire, unlimited longings. So great attachments to fruitive activities. That's called passion. And example is a man attached to honor of the society, attached to our family and all, overly attached. This is for karmis, not for devotees. And they attain earthly planets because they have a lot of unfulfilled desires. They come back again, and there is misery, greed, and they get earthly planets. Earthly planets means again problems. And Prabhupada says, working on the three modes, in order to please his wife, children, and society, to keep up his prestige, one has to work. Therefore, the whole material world is more or less in a mode of passion. Modern civilization is considered to be an advanced in the standard of mode of passion. Formerly, the advanced condition was considered to be in the mode of goodness. If there is no liberation for those in the mode of goodness, what to speak of those who are entangled in the mode of passion? So that means goodness also there is no liberation. We have to come to Shuddha Sattvagun or pure goodness to get liberated. Okay, so Sattvagun also will bind us like Sattve Sukhe Sanchayati Rajakarmani Bharata Jnanamavritya tu Tama Pramate Sanchayati Uta Usana Bharata. The mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, passion conditions fruitive actions, and ignorance coverings one knowledge binds to madness. So ignorance also will cause us madness, laziness, oversleep, and all that. And there is delusion, illusion, darkness, madness, and inertia. Embodied soul in ignorance, a person acts whimsically. So what happens? They get birth in lower species, that is hellish planets. There is foolishness, madness, illusion, and life in hellish planets. Okay. So Prabhupada says, under the spell of ignorance, one cannot understand the thing as it is. Like everyone can see that his grandfather died, and therefore he will also die. Man is mortal. The children that he conceives will also die. So death is sure. Still, people are madly accumulating money and working very hard day and night, not caring for eternal spirit. This is madness. In their madness, they are very reluctant to make advancement in spiritual understanding. Such people are very lazy. When they are invited to associate for spiritual understanding, they're not much interested. So So that's why we can overcome laziness in Krishna consciousness. See, getting up at Brahma Muhurta and chanting around, so attending Mangalarti. Attending Mangalarti is the easy way to overcome laziness. So try to attend all the Mangalartis online or offline. Then what happens? Or laziness gets removed. And then, so that means ignorance is overcome. And then when he studies Shastra, also ignorance is overcome. And then slowly passion, and then goodness, and then finally Shuddha Sattvagun. So what happens? Goodness also conditions to happiness, passion conditions to fruitive activities, and ignorance covers our knowledge, binds one to madness. So the three modes are also like shackles. Only thing is, goodness is like an golden shackle, passion is like a silver, and ignorance is like some other metal. But still, shackles are shackle, right? Whatever it is, if it's a gold or diamond made up of platinum, still shackle is a shackle. So we are all shackled by the three modes of material nature. Sattva, Rajas, Tamo Guna. We have to overcome it. So we're like puppets in their hand. But when you do Krishna consciousness, we are transcending the three modes and we are going to Shuddha Sattva Guna, pure goodness. So I'll start with that. This also the solution. What is the solution for these? Rajastamascha vibhuya sattvam bhavati bharata rajasattvam tamaschaiva tamasattvam rajastata. Sometimes the mode of goodness become prominent, defeating the mode of passion and ignorance. Oh, son of Partha, sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and other times ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. So, like for example, at night, and then especially Sunday night, you don't have to go for work and all that. So what happens? You feel like sleeping again and again. You snooze your mobile again and again. So that is actually ignorance conquering mode of passion and goodness. Or sometimes you're in a mall, you went for shopping and you want only one or two things, but you end up buying so many things, especially in supermarket and all. So that time mode of passion is dominating, right? So, or sometimes you wanted to go to some religious thing. And so that is again Shuddha Sattva, but not Shuddha Sattva. You're not reached to that platform. So always there is a competition. Even in material nature, you can see Brahma Muhurta time, 1.5 hours before sunrise. The Shuddha Sattva is predominant in the society, in the atmosphere. That's why we can chant nicely and do spiritual activities. And during the daytime, again from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. again Sattva, and 8 a.m. to evening, it's full Rajagun. So much work, passion work. And then last at night, it will be Tamoguna. That's why when you start chanting or doing chanting or doing something at night, there is always Tamoguna being there. So the intent is to advance Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada writes, one need to build strong intent to advance in Krishna consciousness in order to overcome the three modes of material nature. If one is determined, Saha, Nishya, Dhairya, one is blessed with the mode of goodness. Transcending goodness, he can be situated in pure goodness called Vasudeva state, a state in which one can understand the science of God. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shaktitam. So importance of developing the mode of goodness to start with is therefore. So can you give some example of those who have transcended from ignorance to Shuddha Sattva? Yes, any examples?
Brigari.
Brigari, very good. So Brigari was a hunter. He used to half kill animals, half kill. And then Narad Muni went and like, why are you doing this? No? So he advised Brigari and told him to leave all that and build a small hut, do Harinam and circumambulate Tulsi, do Tulsi Puja, and then slowly Brigari transcend to Shuddha Sattva. Anybody else?
Jada Bharat.
Jada Bharat. Jada Bharat was already in transcendental platform. Bharat Maharaj. Yeah, there was a fall down, but yes, he was already in Shuddha Sattva. Who else?
The prostitute Haridas Thakur.
Very good. Prostitute with Haridas Thakur. She was in Tamoguna. She was selling her own body to make some money. And then finally she just could hear Harinam Shuddhanam from a pure devotee like Haridas Thakur and circumambulate Tulasi. She got delivered in this and she gave up her profession. She distributed all her gold and all the her properties, everything to the Brahmanas, and she surrendered to Haridas Thakur and came to Shuddha Sattva. Yes. So Mrigari, the prostitute with Haridas Thakur. Who else? What about Ratnagar?
Valya, Mataji, Valya, who became Valmiki.
Valmiki, yes. So that means he was Ratnagar before, and the Ratnagar was also a hunter, and by Narad Muni's association, he became Valmiki. Yes. The hippies who Srila Prabhupada delivered, they were also in Tamoguna, drinking and smoking and everything. And finally, Prabhupada gave them Harinam and they became neat. And Prabhupada says they appear as if they came from Vaikuntha. Okay, so that's what Prabhupada used to do. Yes. So importance of developing the mode of goodness is also there. Like why should we develop that mode so that we can advance in Krishna consciousness? Okay, so after 10, they directly go to 17. Okay, I'll just read through. Not much explanation is given. It's just translation by Srila Prabhupada. The Prabhupada says, Sarva dvareshu hesmin prakasha upajayate jnanam yata tada vidya vivritam satkamiti uda. The manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when the all gates of body are eliminated by knowledge. So goodness means spiritual, scriptural knowledge. Lopa pravritti arambha karmanam asamma spruha Rajasi etani jayante vivrite paradarshapa, chief of Bharatas. When there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, fruitive activities, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desires and hankering develops. So that is passion. So when there is passion, uncontrollable hankering and attachment and desire, uncontrollable, like want to make money, more, and into drugs and all that. So I see that is so much of desires, and what happens is there is a lot of attachment in passion. Aprakasho pravrittischa paramato moha evacha. Tamasi etani jayante vivrite kurunandana. When there is an increase in the amount of ignorance or son of Kuru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion are manifested. So they are the one who are very lazy in life. And then because of that, what happens? They will get that particular body. Like who does eating, meeting, sleeping, and defending animals, right? So if somebody is not doing any dharma and doing like an animal life, material nature will give them that life next. Yada sattve pravrittetu pralayam yadi dehabrit tadottamavitam lokan amalan pratipatyate. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the pure, higher planets of great sages. So what happens when somebody leaves the body in the mode of goodness? They go to heavenly planets. What about Rajoguna? What about Rajoguna? What happens when somebody leaves the body in Rajoguna?
Comes back
to the earth, right? Yes.
Yes,
Rajasi pralayam jatve karma sankeshu jayate tata pralinas tamasi roda yonishu jayate. When one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. That means like somebody, there's a joke, no? An old man was about to die. He was a businessman. He had 3 sons. And all these 3 sons were also doing business with him. They had a big shop and all. So he was very old. He was about to die. And so when he was about to die, he's taking his last breath, he opened his eyes like, where is my elder son? So everybody's like, oh, he wanted to see his elder son. So he's like, I'm here, Papa. Then he asked, where is my middle son? Okay, he's also there. Where is my younger son? He was also there. He's like, fools, if you 3 are here, who's at the shop? Who's taking care of the business? So even at the end of his life, he's thinking about his business. He's not thinking like, oh, I want to see my sons during my last breath or nothing. So he was so attached to that business or attached to the family. You know, some of them, some like grandparents might have an unfulfilled desire, like to see their grandchildren married or something. They want to see their grandchild, some kind of unfulfilled desire. What happens? That soul will take rebirth in the same family again so that he or she can fulfill the desire. Or that's what the last moment, Anta Kale Shamameva, we saw the 8th chapter, whatever thought that is. So that is Rajoguna. Any unfulfilled desires, that's why we should control our desires and have spiritual desires, it says, because that desire can bring us back to this material world. So that is Rajoguna. Somebody is leaving their body in Rajoguna. What happens? They come back again to this earthly planet. And when one dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom. That's why we see animals and all. It's all because the Karanam Gunasanga Asya. It's because of the modes of material nature they associated with, and they come to that platform. Okay, so we'll see the 14th, 17th sloka for today last. Satvat sanjayade jnanam rajaso lopa evacha pramada moha tamaso bhavato jnanam evacha. So from the mode of goodness, the real knowledge develops, and from mode of passion, greed develops, and from mode of ignorance develops foolishness, madness, and illusion. So Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness is what is recommended because that is above the 3 modes. So importance of developing the mode of goodness is to stop this irresponsibility. Education for developing the mode of goodness of people in general must be there. When they are actually educated in the mode of goodness, they will become sober and full of knowledge of the things as they are. Then people will be happy and prosperous. Even if the majority of people aren't happy and prosperous, if certain percentage of population develops Krishna consciousness and becomes situated in mode of goodness, then there is possibility of peace and prosperity all over the world. So that's enough actually. If the world is devoted to the mode of passion and ignorance, there is no peace. When one is engaged in the mode of passion, not only he's mentally unhappy, but his profession, occupation also become troublesome. Because he want more. Bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami, sagale ashanda. Krishna bhakta nishkama adiva shanda. Bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami. They want mukti, bhukti, siddhi. All this, no, they become ashanda. They're not peaceful. But Krishna bhakta nishkama adiva. He is very peaceful. And in mode of ignorance, people become mad, being distressed by their circumstance. They take shelter of intoxication. Thus, they sink further into ignorance. Their future life is very dark. Okay. So this is about the 3 modes. So this chapter is very small. We have just 27 slokas. So we'll finish next week about this chapter. Yes, Shriya Mataji, anything to add?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I had a question.
Yes.
I was just thinking that Prabhupada is asking us to maintain, at least stay in the mode of goodness and do our bhakti. But what is the possibility that being situated in mode of goodness and doing bhakti, we will not be transferred to some heavenly planets? I mean, is there a possibility that after this life, we'll be elevated to some other planet and then we'll be stuck there for some time and come back?
No. If they are devotees, definitely they'll take birth in devotee family, or even in heavenly planets, there'll be a possibility of doing bhakti. Or sometimes based on our karma, definitely, Shuchinam Srimadam Gehe, definitely we will be elevated in a position to do more bhakti, more advanced in spiritual consciousness, definitely. Because it's not just goodness, Krishna consciousness it's pure goodness. Even though we are not doing pure bhakti, still we are associating with pure goodness, like Krishna's holy name, scriptures. So there is hope. Like we don't have to be, even if it's heavenly planets, it's not like we'll get stuck there. No, because Krishna knows that soul has done Krishna consciousness for some time. It's not just, and what is the difference between us and those who do only punya? No, pious people also go to heavenly planets, and devotees also go, means that's not correct. So what Krishna does is he gives the chance for the devotees to do devotional service in wherever they are actually. So even in heavenly planets, so like you can see Brahma is also Krishna's devotee, Indra is also devotee, but the desire with which a devotee goes, a devotee has desire to devotional service. But the karmis, they want to do punya and enjoy punya. So because they have that desire, Krishna will fulfill that for them. But for devotees, it's different, Mataji. So Krishna can change it. Like it's instead of going to heavenly planets, they might take birth in devotee family and continue the journey. So
Okay, Mataji.
up to our desires, Krishna decides.
So Mataji, Brahma, like Brahma, I used to think, sorry for interrupting, but Brahma is also devotee. But
Yes.
why? But isn't he there for very, very long time?
Yes.
And
Yes,
still
it's
in the
just
material world.
Yeah, it's for the pastime. Even though it's in the material world, he is like the most pious person in the entire universe, right? Then only he'll get the post of a Brahma. And there is different pastimes happening. Even though he is just 311 trillion years his lifespan, but he is able to associate with the Lord. Like you've seen a lot of pastime, the Brahma Vimohan Leela and all that. So Brahma is actually the Leela of the Lord is going on. So he's so fortunate to be a part of Krishna's pastime. But yes, because he is given a position to do the creation and all that by the Lord. So definitely he is a guna avatar of the Lord. So there are 3 guna avatars like Brahma, Vishnu and Lord Shiva. So he is also like empowered by the Lord. But then yes, because they are also pious, definitely he's a devotee, he'll go back, but Krishna corrects him and there's different pastime. So just for the pastime purpose, he stay with the Lord and to do the pastime with the Lord. Okay, so we'll take the breakout room questions. Okay, who is going to represent room number 1? Sindhu Mataji, Nimita Mataji, Ratnangi Mataji, Shriya Mataji and Sneha Mataji. So question was Sloka 3 and 4, you can discuss current social, moral, and environmental issues. 3 to 4.
Hare Krishna Mataji, from room 1, from what we discussed, and we were trying to connect it with the problem, with the issues, social, moral, and environmental issues. So from what we realized is that we jivas, in this yuga, we think that we are the doers, and we think
Yes.
that we are doing everything and we are the superior ones. No one can surpass us. We become scientists, we study so much, we try to reach moon and other planets, do so many disturbance in the society, like destroying the environment and everything. We create so many chaos in the society, but we forget that we are not the doers and we are not the superiors. There is Krishna, who's the father, seed giving father, which is in the purport. He is the father, and Prakriti is the mother. So we are trying to exploit the Prakriti by thinking that we are superiors. But if we know about the three modes of material nature, if we have the knowledge about modes, that we are working under the mode of ignorance, like killing animals, doing bad things, murdering people, we are influenced by these three modes. But if we know about Krishna consciousness, or if we know about our position, that we are jivas, we are not the superiors, then we can surrender to Krishna and get out of the cycle of birth and death, and that is the solution. So that is how we connected it. I think we think that we are the doers and we are the superior ones, but Krishna is the superior one. And then we get affected by three modes, we die in the three modes, mode of ignorance or mode of passion, and we get another body. So in this way the cycle keeps on going, and it doesn't stop, finish, unless we surrender to Krishna.
Yes. Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, room number 1. Oh, that's 2. Room number 2. Achita Prabhu, Nyote Mataji, Reme Mother, Ruchi Mataji, and Suresh Prabhu. Yes, who's going to speak? Anybody from row number 2?
Yes, Mataji, I was actually traveling. I could not consider, but what I have studied,
Yes,
I
Prabhu.
can relate, what I can relate with what Mataji told, that Krishna is the ultimate cause of all causes. But our scientists believe that it has create on its own. It was created, Big Bang theory and what nonsense and all that. But everything is given by, sanctioned by Krishna. Then only all this universe is existing. So all these creatures and living beings are born because of just a glance by Krishna. So it is him he is sanctioning, and that's why we are existing. And social, all this Varnashrama was all given by Krishna himself, but we are institutionalizing, and in the name of technology, we are developing all these. Earlier also, people used to travel, and all environmental issues were not there. But now all environmental problems are coming because we are, in the name of technology, we are exploiting the nature. This is how Krishna is a reason for exploiting all these things. We are now suffering, and economically also, the name of economy, we are cutting forests, and we are encroaching all the water bodies, and so much crisis is going on in Bangalore now. All because of this, in the name of economy, we are misutilizing the sources given by the Lord. So that basic element is missing. Nobody is doing bhakti, and everyone is thinking superior. Man is superior and exploiting. That's why all these mishappenings happening in the world. If everybody surrenders to Krishna, and our old system of Gurukul is established again, all everybody follows Krishna consciousness, all this will not be there. Even Prabhupada used to chastise the scientists when a moon was first went to moon. It's waste of all the money. We can go to moon without the body. That is actually the position. Uh, that is all not required, he told. That's how I think we can relate, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, it's a good example, Prabhu, like the moon planet. Yes. So that's a very good example from this environmental, social, and moral. So all issues are related there. Yes. So as Prabhupada says, that's in Rajoguna, so much of Rajoguna, so much of money, passion to go to the moon planet. Oh, we go landing to the moon planet and so many things. But they don't know, like if they were in Shuddha Sattvagun, they were in pure goodness, they would be knowing, like if they have knowledge about the Shastra, they know that with this material body made up of earth, water, fire, and ether, we won't be able to go to the heavenly planets. Moon is a heavenly planet and the lifespan is 10,000 years. So it's utter foolishness, Prabhupada says, waste of money and energy and time that trying to go there, because if you are in Shuddha Sattvagan, we know that that's not the right way to go to the moon planet. We can't. And even if we go, we won't be able to see the living entities with this naked eye. And Shastra says, and we need to believe in Shastra. So if somebody is in the mode of passion, ignorance, won't be able to understand Shastra or won't believe in Shastra. That's a very nice example of how the mode of passion and ignorance are there in that trying to go to the moon planet. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Okay. Any other questions? How we can have traveled today? So I just want to close fast. So we'll continue next week. And after that, next week, I'll give you the first open book questions for this chapter. So Achyuta Keshav Prabhu is going to take level 1 class from tomorrow. That is for 18 days course for 9 p.m. adults batch. So I want all of you to become preachers. And, we need to rotate teachers every month. It's actually rotating teachers. Gives you more confidence also when you approach new devotees. And Bhakti Shastri is basically for that, to make you all preachers. So try to take up some preaching role and please spread the message, because from April 1st, we have next batch starting 45th batch from tomorrow. Yes, Hare Krishna, Shri Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, how to volunteer for this 18 days class service?
Yeah, you can WhatsApp me. You can just message me. So based on the availability, we give batches. Based on your job and so many other things, like you should be available for 18 days continuous at a particular time. So based on that, you can just message me, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
We can consider for next month, because this month is already full. It's April month. And then we can for May month. So slowly, even if you're not confident with adults, all of you can start with kids and start interacting with them, start teaching them, and slowly you can go to adult session. So that's level 1, then slowly to level 2, level 3. That's how we divide the course into. Okay, Hare Krishna. So anybody has any other questions, or we can stop here? Okay.
How are the registrations this time, Mataji?
Yeah, it is little low, less, more, I think we're vacation and so many, so kids are also, but we have to pick it up. So slowly it's picking up, little less. Okay. Before we used to have thousands in the Zoom, and I myself could not go to the class because the Zoom account was full. And my admins had to throw somebody out and then make me enter. So we used to have such huge classes, but now it's very, very less. Hare Krishna, everyone. Attendance was already shared. It will be shared only once. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripasindhate patitane pavaneka vaishnavi. Manapuri Vaishnavi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.